Back in the 90s, I was the guy that supplied a nationwide wire service that was located in Las Vegas with all the injury information for pro and college teams and all the sports. And this was the injury information that all the sportsbook directors in Vegas subscribed to, and gamblers all throughout the country subscribed to. I had my sources, I had my contacts, I had been in the media for a while, so, I had my ways of getting information. And remember, this was pre-internet. So this was valuable information. And people always like to say, oh, inside information. And I've always told people there's no such thing as inside information, especially in the internet age. But again, in the 90s, this is pre-internet. This is the closest thing to inside information there was, because I'd get some key injury information. It would get to the hands of sportsbook directors, and suddenly you see lines move. It was amazing back in the day. And I took my job very seriously. I never released this information to anybody other than the wire services. And then you'd see the corresponding moves. And it was really something. Sometimes I'd sit there and I'd go, man, this is really powerful. And you could see how if you were a corrupt individual, how this information could be taken advantage of. But this company was out in Vegas, and it was also part of a big sports handicapping company. So I'm visiting Vegas one time, and I decided to go and visit the guys that I'm working with and I'm dealing with via phone. So I go into the office, and in the office, they have this big room. And on the room, outside the door is shut, they have this big sign that says handicapping room. So you know me, Mr. Flippant, I say, oh, is that where they have the dartboard? Did that joke go over like a lead balloon? And I was thinking of that line today because when you look at this Spurs-Rockets game tonight, let me tell you something. I think you need a dartboard. And that's coming from me, a guy who has won 10 of his last 14 NBA best bets on his site, a guy who, on the video report, has won 14 of his last 18 NBA complimentary plays. But this game tonight, it comes down to this. And I'm going to break down this game every which way but loose here in just a moment. Quick, did you get the Clint Eastwood 1978 movie reference there? It really comes down to this. If the Rockets hit their shots like they did in games 1 and 4, they could win, they could cover. If they don't, like they did in games 2 and 3, they don't have a chance. It really is that simple. This game is a damn tough game to figure out. That's the bottom line in this contest. So let's get to the analysis for this game. Listen, you want to talk about Washington and Boston tomorrow night? I'll have the best bet on this one. Otherwise, I'm turning to baseball once again tonight, coming off my winner last night on the Yankees. You want to play on this game? Turn to Trace Adams. The guy's red hot. Going for NBA raise the bar 1,500 star winner number 5 in a row and 11 out of 13. It's another half price play of the day selection. But for me, this is the best you're going to get. So let's break down the contest here for you. So in game number 1, you remember what happened in that particular contest. I mean, the Rockets were just unbelievable in the way they shot in that particular contest. Shot 46%, but more importantly, hit 22 out of 50 three-point shots. And again, this is a Rockets team that set records this year in the NBA in the regular season for three-pointers made and attempted. And they won that game going away, 126-99. And they could have probably won it by 55 points if they really wanted to. But in game number 2, they shot 44.6%, but only hit 11 of 34 three-pointers, and the Spurs won going away, 121-96. Change of venue. Game number 3 goes to Houston. Spurs, lockdown defense. Rockets shooting just 36.4%. James Harden couldn't hit the broad side of the barn. Consequently, Rockets, no distribution in terms of their offense, came to a stop. Spurs, big men, really dominated. What happened? Rockets, 12-39 from three-point land, and they lose that game 103-92. 2 straight games. This high-scoring, high-powered Houston offense limited, under 100 points scored. What happens then in game number 4? Well, a Houston bench that had relied so much on Nene this season, he goes down with the torn muscle by, can't say luck, by design. The Rockets decide to go small, which means Eric Gordon gets even more playing time. And the Rockets' small ball attack, it gets hot. They start shooting. Suddenly you have James Harden, Clint Capella, and 3 shooters out on the floor. Well, the Spurs big men, They have no answer. And James Harden plays the role of distributor. Think Magic Johnson in his prime, okay? And James Harden has done it all season long, so that's really not a fair and accurate description, because that almost makes it seem like James Harden for this one day suddenly decided, hey, I'm going to be like Magic Johnson in his prime. James Harden has been doing it all season long. He's either driving to the hoop, because coming into the series, he was leading all players in the postseason with 16 drives to the lane per game. But the fact is, when you are trying to seal off the lane, Harden is bringing the ball out and distributing on the perimeter. And when you're playing great perimeter defense, he's driving to the lane. The magic that he is showing is his ability to distribute the ball. And it's the magic of Mike D'Antoni's system for the Rockets as well. And Harden, 28 points and 10 of 18 shooting. And the Rockets, 19 of 43 on 3 points. And they hit it at 52.6% clip. And they also get 52 points in the paint. And they roll in that game 125 to 104. Now, by necessity, they're probably going to go small again here today, which means that Eric Gordon's probably going to get another starting assignment here tonight. Now, the bigs for San Antonio couldn't contend in game number 4. But you know Greg Popovich is no dummy. I can't believe that Leonard and Aldridge, especially Leonard, who's going to do the yeoman task and once again be manning up against Harden, is going to just score 16 points as he did in game number 4. Now remember, game number 1, he had an off game offensively, and you saw how he came back in game number 2 to dominate. I just have a feeling that tonight the Spurs are going to respond defensively. I have a feeling tonight that Leonard's going to be unstoppable. I just feel that the Rockets are not going to be able to replicate that effort that they had in game number 4 at home tonight in San Antonio. But you don't bet on hunches. That's why I'm going with baseball as my best bet. So your complimentary play tonight, my dart against the wall, I'm going to go with San Antonio. I'm not going to put my money on it, but then again, consider this. The grain of thoughts, salt theory is this. I have won 14 of my last 18 complimentary plays. I have won 10 of my last 14 NBA best bets. I'm kind of hot in the playoffs, so what the hell? My grain of salt is take San Antonio and lay the points. Good luck, everybody, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.